Have you ever wondered why some people rise while others, just as capable, remain invisible? It's not luck. It's not even talent. It's understanding the invisible rules, the ones no one teaches you, but everyone plays by. In this world, those who see clearly move silently, strike precisely, and are never controlled. Today, we'll uncover 15 of the darkest, most strategic principles that brilliant minds use to outmaneuver everyone else, not to deceive, but to survive. Stay with this, because once you see these laws, you won't unsee them. Law 15. Use absence to increase your worth. If you're always available, always visible, you become ordinary. The world doesn't chase what it can easily reach. It obsesses over what feels just out of grasp. This is Law 15, the power of scarcity. Your value multiplies the moment your absence is felt. Like diamonds, what is rare becomes priceless, not because it changes, but because it's hard to find. The Stoics remind us to detach from the need to constantly be seen or affirmed. True influence is built not in constant noise, but in deliberate distance. When you're always in front of people, you lose your edge. But when you withdraw, even briefly, curiosity and desire take root. Legends are not made by being everywhere, they are made by being missed. Powerful people understand this. They craft their presence like a rare event, anticipated, talked about, remembered. Your silence, your distance, your disappearance, it all creates space for value to grow. And when you return, don't return as you were. Return elevated, transformed, undeniable. If you master this law, you won't need to demand attention, it will chase you. So step back, let the world wonder, because in your absence, your power begins. Law 14. Weaponize trust strategically. Trust is the most dangerous currency in the game of power. Those closest to you are not always your strength. Often, they are your greatest vulnerability. This is Law 14. Exploit trust as a weapon. The Stoics teach us to see clearly, beyond illusions. And one of the deadliest illusions is blind loyalty. In history, the most cunning minds rose to influence not by force, but by becoming what others trusted most. During Machiavelli's time, a single minister earned the unshakable faith of kings, only to later destroy their empires from within. When someone believes you are their mirror, their confidant, they speak freely, they lower their guard, and if you adopt their language, reflect their values, and echo their mindset, they'll expose everything believing you are on their side. But remember, trust is a tool, not a guarantee of safety. The friend who knows your secrets may already be studying your weaknesses. In a world where knowledge equals control, the one who collects the most insight wins. So sharpen your awareness, speak less, listen more, because those who master trust don't protect it, they weaponize it. Law 13. Align with self-interest, not sympathy. Don't expect help just because you're good, loyal, or deserving. The harsh truth is, people are moved not by your virtues, but by their gain. This is Law 13. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy or gratitude. In the real world, kindness alone won't open doors, value will. If you want someone to act, show them how it benefits them. Even Julius Caesar understood this. He didn't rise by asking for loyalty. He offered wealth, power, and status. He didn't plead, he awakened ambition, and in doing so, the empire bent to his will. The Stoics remind us not to expect fairness from the world, but to see things as they are. And this world runs on incentive. There are only two kinds of people: those who wait for help and those who position themselves so well that others rush to offer it. If you want your voice heard, make sure it echoes opportunity. Show people how supporting you serves them, not because you're manipulative, but because you're wise. Influence is not born from emotion, it's born from alignment. So stop hoping to be understood. Start being useful, because once people see their own win in your victory, you'll never have to ask twice. Law 12. Disarm with strategic kindness. The most effective deception is the one wrapped in kindness. People rarely question those who seem generous because generosity lowers defenses. This is Law 12. Disarm with selective generosity. The most powerful minds don't reveal their strength through aggression, but through calculated acts of goodwill. When someone believes you're on their side, they stop protecting themselves. Genghis Khan mastered this. Instead of destroying every city he conquered, he offered gifts, honor, and protection until the people worshipped him. Then, when resistance vanished, he struck with finality. That's the danger of trust. It makes people blind. The Stoics teach us to observe rather than assume. What appears to be virtue may be strategy in disguise. Those who use honesty recklessly are often the first to be broken. But the wise, they give just enough to earn access, never more. Real power hides behind the mask of sincerity. Use it with precision, not sentiment, because in a world built on perception, the hand that offers kindness may also be holding the blade. Law 11. Become irreplaceable, not just useful. Loyalty is rarely about love, it's about need. People remain by your side not because they admire you, but because they rely on you. The moment they realize they can thrive without you, your significance fades. That's the brutal truth. This is Law 11. Keep others dependent on you, not through force or fear, but through quiet indispensability. True power isn't loud, it's structural. A wise king once asked his advisor, "Who is the most powerful man in the kingdom?" The advisor smiled and said, "The one whose absence breaks the entire system. That man may not wear a crown, but without him, the empire crumbles." In ancient Rome, a cunning minister secured his influence not by displaying everything he knew, but by withholding just enough. He fed the king knowledge in pieces, always remaining the key to the full picture. And when the king, deceived by his own confidence, removed the minister, chaos followed. Systems collapsed. And only then did they understand the true cost of losing what they took for granted. The lesson is timeless if you wish to maintain power. Never give it all away. Keep something only you can do, solve, or understand. Like the camel in the desert, valued not for elegance, but for necessity, become the one thing they cannot move forward without. The Stoics taught self-reliance. Yes, but they also recognized the wisdom in making yourself vital to the fabric of any system you're in. So ask yourself, if you disappeared tomorrow, would they adapt or would they fall apart? The answer reveals the strength of your position. In a world that replaces the useful and forgets the generous, make your absence feel like a collapse. That is how you stay indispensable. Law 10. Protect your energy from the unstable. No matter how driven you are, how disciplined, how intelligent, if your environment is poisoned, your potential will wither. This is Law 10. Avoid the unlucky and the negative. The Stoics teach us to take responsibility for our inner world, but they also warn us to be ruthless with the influences we allow into our lives. Because the truth is harsh, some people are not just unhelpful, they are corrosive. Their energy drains you. Their failures become your burdens. Their chaos seeps into your order until you can no longer tell what is yours and what is theirs. There was once a man whose skill was unmatched, sharp mind, tireless work ethic, but everything around him was collapsing. His finances deteriorated, relationships soured, trust was betrayed. He was not weak, but he was surrounded by weakness. Then clarity came. He saw the pattern. Every downfall was tied to someone in his circle. Complainers, victims, people who lived in drama, not discipline. And so, he made the most courageous decision of all. He cut them off. Slowly, the noise faded, and within a year, his peace returned, his work flourished, his clarity sharpened. The people you allow into your life are not neutral. They either elevate your vision or erode it. Misery is contagious. Failure is not just an event. It's a mindset that spreads like smoke. Protect your path like a fortress. The man who seeks greatness must guard not only his time, but his energy, his focus, his circle. In the pursuit of power, kindness must never become weakness. You cannot heal people who refuse to change, but you can choose not to be pulled into their storm. That choice may save your life. Law 9. Let action. Silence the noise. Never waste your breath trying to convince those who are committed to misunderstanding you. A fool will pull you into his chaos, drag you down to his level, and win by exhausting your peace. That's why true power doesn't raise its voice. It raises results. This is law. 9. Win through your actions, never through arguments. The Stoics remind us that inner control is far greater than outward noise. Arguing is often a sign that you still seek validation, but the powerful, they move in silence, and their victories speak for them. They don't waste time explaining, they demonstrate. They don't beg to be understood, they make themselves undeniable. If someone questions your worth, don't debate. Let your consistency, your discipline, and your results crush the doubt. Every second spent arguing is a second lost in building, and every time you lower yourself into conflict, you abandon the higher ground of clarity and purpose. Understand this. Those who truly command respect never try to prove themselves. They simply become impossible to ignore. Speak less, execute more. Let the world form opinions while you form legacies. In a society obsessed with talking, you will become rare by choosing action. So don't react, rise. Don't defend, deliver. And don't explain, excel. Whether they love you or hate you, let them watch from the sidelines as your life becomes the loudest response. Because in the end, the world may argue with your words, but it cannot deny your results. Law 8. Draw people in without chasing. The one who chases becomes forgettable. The one who waits with intention becomes powerful. This is Law 8. Make others come to you. In the world of strategy, movement is not always progress. When you run after people, be it in business, love, or influence, you send a clear signal. They are the prize, and you are the pursuer. But true power does not chase. It attracts. It positions. It builds such undeniable value that others are drawn in not out of obligation, but out of necessity. The Stoics knew this deeply. Control begins within, and from that center, all influence flows. If you desire something from someone, don't beg. Instead, create conditions where they begin to crave what you offer. Use patience as a weapon. Make your absence echo louder than your presence. Powerful people structure the game in their favor, then wait while others move toward them on their terms. Even bait, used wisely, is not manipulation, it's strategy. Turn their needs into leverage. Turn your silence into gravity. If they feel they need you to move forward, They'll cross oceans just to shake your hand. Respect is never earned by pursuit. It is earned by posture. So stop running. Build. Center yourself. Hold the frame. Because in the end, you must choose: will you live reacting to others, or will you create a world where others move around you? One makes noise, the other commands the room. Choose wisely. Law 7. Lead the vision. Own the outcome. Power doesn't reward effort, it rewards perception. In a world that glorifies results, few stop to ask who truly did the work. This is Law 7. Take credit strategically. The Stoics teach us to act with intention, not illusion, but they also warn us to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. And the truth is, harsh history remembers the name, not the hands behind it. The one who organizes, delegates, and claims the outcome is crowned the victor. The one who labors quietly is often forgotten. If you spend your life working tirelessly without understanding the game of influence, you'll remain a pawn in someone else's story. Real power is not about doing everything yourself. It's about building a system where others contribute to your vision, while you direct the narrative. The most powerful minds in history weren't always the ones who built, but they were always the ones who positioned themselves as the architect. Don't let false humility rob you of rightful recognition. Praise, influence, legacy, they follow visibility, not effort alone. This isn't about stealing, it's about leading. When you inspire action, when you orchestrate movement, when you see the big picture while others focus on the task, you earn the right to stand in the spotlight. So ask yourself, are you building your own name, or just helping someone else build theirs? In the game of power, hard work is noble but strategic. Credit is immortal. Choose not only to contribute, but to be remembered. Law 6. Be so real. They can't ignore you. In this world, obscurity is death. It doesn't matter how wise, talented, or skilled you are if the world doesn't see you. It forgets you. This is Law 6. Command attention or fade away. Visibility is not vanity. It is survival. The Stoics taught us to focus on substance over appearance, but they never denied that society is drawn to what it cannot ignore. If you want influence, you must learn how to enter people's minds and stay there. Become unforgettable, not by screaming for attention, but by embodying something so compelling, so emotionally charged, that people cannot look away. It could be love, it could be fear, it could even be hate, but indifference. That is the real failure. Even your enemies keep your name alive when they can't stop thinking about you. The greatest figures in history were not necessarily loved, they were remembered. Average people live quiet lives, unnoticed and unchallenged. But those who command the spotlight even for a moment shape the direction of the crowd. You have to decide, will you let the world pass you by, or will you grip its attention and never let go? Control perception, stir emotion, make people feel something when your name is spoken. Because in the grand game of power, silence is not peace, it is erasure, and the ones who fade quietly are the ones history buries deepest. So leave your mark, or be forgotten. The choice is yours. Law 5. Let your comeback echo loudly. When life strikes you down, don't just get back up, rise in a way that makes the world flinch. Let your comeback be so unshakable, so undeniable, that no one ever dares to challenge you again. This is Law 5. Shake the world to be remembered. In the eyes of the crowd, perception often outweighs reality. People don't remember quiet efforts or silent endurance. They remember the storm that changed everything. If someone tries to humiliate you, Don't respond with bitterness or explanation. Respond with transformation so fierce that it burns the memory of their insult into dust. The Stoics never chased approval, but they understood this. Your image is the armor through which the world interacts with you. Craft it with intent. Control it with clarity. Either you command the room, or you get swallowed by it. This world does not pause to ask who you truly are. It only reacts to what you project. Fear, awe, respect. These are currencies of power. They are earned not through begging, but through presence. You don't have to be cruel, but you must be formidable. The one who cannot be ignored becomes the one who shapes the narrative. So when you fall, and you will let that moment be your forge, refuse to shrink, refuse to explain. Become a version of yourself so elevated, so relentless, that even those who doubted you feel compelled to respect your name. You can be remembered as the one who broke, or as the one who shook the ground when he stood again. The path is yours to choose. Law 4. Guard your words. Guard your power. Your greatest weapon can also be your greatest weakness, and that weapon is your tongue. This is Law 4. Control your words to maintain mystery. In a world obsessed with constant expression, the one who chooses silence becomes a riddle no one can solve, and that is power. The more you speak, the more patterns you reveal. Every opinion, every plan, every emotion you share gives others a window into your inner workings. And once they see how you move, they can predict you, manipulate you, undermine you. You may think you're being clever, showing off knowledge or confidence, but the wise understand this mystery commands more respect than clarity ever will. The Stoics mastered this art not out of fear, but out of discipline. They spoke with purpose, never noise. They revealed only what was necessary, and that restraint made their presence feel larger than life. In contrast, those who expose too much become forgettable. Their image collapses under the weight of their own openness. If you've ever felt like you've said too much, like your transparency has cost you influence, then perhaps it's time to shift. Say less, observe more. Let others wonder what you're thinking, planning, becoming. Because in the realm of power, curiosity is currency, and mystery is protection. The quiet man is rarely underestimated because no one knows what he's capable of. So speak only when it strengthens your position. Until then, let your silence speak louder than any word could. Law 3. Conceal the path. Reveal the result. The greatest mistake you can make in a world driven by power is to reveal your intentions. Once people know what you're after, your goals, your desires, your next move, they gain leverage over you. They can block you, outmaneuver you, or quietly dismantle everything you've worked for. This is Law 3. Hide your intentions. The Stoics taught that wisdom lies in restraint, and nowhere is this more vital than in strategy. The one who becomes predictable becomes vulnerable, but the one who moves silently, cloaked in misdirection, becomes untouchable. History remembers the most cunning not for their strength, but for their silence. The Rothschild banking dynasty built their empire through calculated secrecy, feeding the world distraction while executing a plan no one saw coming. Even modern giants like Warren Buffett master this law, never revealing their full hand, always letting others guess, while they quietly prepare their next decisive move. When your intentions are hidden, your actions strike with double force because they're unexpected. Reveal only what strengthens your position. Let your real aim stay buried beneath what the world thinks they understand. Mystery is more than defense, it's power in pure form. Because once your moves become visible, they become controllable, and the moment that happens, you no longer hold the game, you are part of someone else's. So stay quiet, stay patient, and when the time is right, let your silence deliver the blow no one was prepared for. Law 2. Transform opposition into strength. In the game of power, trust is not given, it's calculated. Friends, over time, begin to feel entitled to your success. They expect rewards, recognition, and sometimes they resent you for rising, but enemies. Their intentions are clear. There's no mask, no illusion, and when turned to your side, their loyalty is often stronger because it's earned, not assumed. This is law. 2. Turn enemies into assets. History speaks volumes. Napoleon was betrayed by those he called friends. Julius Caesar met his end at the hands of Brutus, the one he trusted most. The Stoic mind doesn't see people as friends or foes, but as tools in a grand strategy. A former enemy, once understood and redirected, can become a powerful ally, but a complacent friend, blinded by comfort or envy, is unpredictable and dangerous. The wise don't aim to destroy every rival. They study them, redirect them, control them, because a reformed enemy, loyal by choice, can become a sharper weapon than any ally born of comfort. Emotions have no place in this calculus. Influence belongs to the one who turns tension into loyalty and threat into opportunity. Law 1. Master yourself before challenging power. No matter how brilliant you are, never make the mistake of shining brighter than those above you. This is Law 1. Never outshine the master. In every hierarchy, ego is the invisible thread that holds power in place. Challenge it intentionally or not, and you risk being cut out without warning. History is littered with the names of those whose brilliance became their downfall. Galileo, Nicholas Copernicus, and many others were silenced not for being wrong, but for being too right too soon. Even revolutionary ideas are threats when they come from someone the powerful feel overshadowed by. Understand this deeply. Power is not always logical, it is emotional. Those who hold it often fear irrelevance more than failure, so the wise learn restraint. They master the art of concealment. They let others feel superior, even while silently pulling the strings. True intelligence is not about display, it's about timing. You don't need to impress the master. You need to survive him, protect his ego, and protect your position. Then, when the moment is right, rise not in his shadow, but beyond his reach. Sometimes, real power isn't about shining, it's about knowing when to stay still. If that resonates, feel free to subscribe and comment. Choose power to mark your moment.